This is day 358, the Fox Guarding the Henhouse. I'm a collector of idioms. When I was a child, I was always curious about the things my older relatives would say as expressions. What they said carried meaning, but to my young and inexperienced mind, I did not understand what they were trying to say. So I made a little game of it and tried to figure it out. When Grandma told me that I was the pot calling the kettle black, what did she really mean by that? A recent addition to my collection is the phrase, "You do not want the fox guarding the henhouse." This idiom means putting someone in charge of something when they have a clear conflict of interest, like asking a natural predator to protect its prey. In other words, you are letting the very person or group most tempted to abuse a system be responsible for safeguarding it. The image comes from an old European farm life and folklore. Foxes are notorious chicken thieves, and the henhouse is where the chickens live. The English have long cast the fox as crafty and untrustworthy, so the metaphor landed easily. The modern phrasing became common in American English in the 20th century, but the idea is much older than that. You will hear it whenever someone wants to call it a conflict of interest or a weak oversight. For example, if you appointed a former oil lobbyist to oversee environmental protection rules, that would be that kind of conflict. Another example would be letting a sales team police and audit their own expense reports. When I was younger and selling a lot of cybersecurity solutions, I would often tell people that you do not want the vendor who built the system to be the sole penetration tester. My daughter was keen on being the one to hand out Halloween candy this year. That is a perfect example. Putting a child in charge of distributing candy is like trusting a fox to watch your chickens. In my world, this happens whenever there are attempts to mix authorship and acceptance. You never want a feature team coding, automating tests, and then also validating the work, running through a checklist and signing off on completion. You cannot hold a team accountable for being fast and at the same time ask them to validate their own work. In the end, that childhood game still serves me well. Idioms are not just clever turns of phrase, they are compact reminders that structure matters and that human nature does not change because we wish it to. If we care about outcomes, we separate duties. We design checks that do not depend on the same hands that built the thing. We ask for evidence and we welcome accountability. That is not cynicism, it is respect for the work and for the people who do it. So I keep collecting these sayings and I keep applying them. Do not put the fox at the door of the henhouse. Define clear roles, invite honest scrutiny, and protect the trust that allows teams and families to thrive. That is a simple rule, learned early and practiced daily, and it does, in fact, keep your chickens safe.